Very good morning to you once again. The Ugu Sport and Leisure Centre in Shelly Beach here in KwaZulu-Natal is fast filling up. The Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa is here present. Deputy Ministers and MECs and a number of other stakeholders join hands this morning to fight HIV. I'm now joined by a critical component in that equation, and that is Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi. He is the Health Minister here in South Africa. Doctor, very good morning to you. It's always good to have you with us.
Good morning, Ayana, and good morning to the viewers out there.
The theme for this year is Towards an HIV-Free Generation, Rise, Act and Protect. Please elaborate.
Well, indeed, we want to reach an HIV-free generation. This is also outlined in the National Development Plan. You know, the plan for the country. On health, the first sentence says life expectancy by 2030 must be 70 years. And the second says the generation under 20 must be HIV/AIDS free. So you can't have life expectancy in South Africa going to 70 years without dealing with HIV. And of course, the second one is self-explanatory. So how do you do that? We want everybody to rise up. We want everybody to act in whatever way they can. This is not an issue of the minister or the president or deputy president or the doctors and nurses only. It's for the whole society. We want them to rise up. And we are saying protect because we want this to happen within the culture of human rights, where we protect the vulnerable, we protect those who have been affected and infected, and so that they also have rights. So it's rights-based action.
Now, we have some bittersweet experiences in South Africa currently when it comes to HIV. Mother-to-child transmission, great strides have been made there. I know you've had a lot to say about that. Also, access to ARVs, a lot of good work being done on the ground. But we are still seeing a prevalence of HIV infection among adolescents. And this has been a theme throughout the course of the morning. Young women in particular. Where are we going wrong there, and how are we going to fix it?
Indeed, it's a big problem. Unfortunately, not for South Africa only, but for the whole Eastern Southern African region. The Eastern Southern African region is the most affected. You'll be aware that 14 countries in the Eastern Southern African region, between those 14 countries, every week there are 5,000 new infections of girls between the ages of 15 and 24. Very unfortunately, half of that is in one country, and that is South Africa. We don't really have one clear answer. We don't really have one clear answer. We believe it's a conglomeration of many factors that are coming together. One of them being, you know, the HIV/AIDS pandemic was devastating, especially to women. Many young girls are orphans. Their mothers have passed on. And so they are vulnerable to sugar daddies, you know, who promise them a better life, who promise them finances, etc. But then they don't really have mothers to guide. Many of them get out of school early. Many of them are having a problem of teenage pregnancy, which makes them vulnerable to this whole thing. Now, our conclusion is this, Ayanda. The successes you are talking about, if you look at them, are mostly on the biomedical side. That means our biomedical interventions have been hugely successful, like the issue of mother-to-child transmission, whereby only 10 years ago, 70,000 children were born HIV positive in South Africa. But because of the success of the prevention of mother-to-child transmission, the PMCTC program, now the figure is down to about 7,000, lower than 7,000. That's a dramatic drop, as you can see. So that's a biomedical intervention. But then the socio-behavioral intervention, that is the one that is a problem in the country. That means the interventions whereby you must change the social settings and the behavior of people. That is where Southern and Eastern African region of the continent is suffering from, and that's where South Africa is suffering from. That is why we launched the DREAM project 2 weeks ago with the ambassador of United States and the ambassador of PEPFAR, because they are funding that project to the tune of 800 million rand for 10 countries in the Southern and Eastern region to try and deal with this issue of young women. And we believe we are inviting society to rise up, act and protect those young people, especially men. In the DREAMS program, we want to target men because they are the ones who are causing this problem. There is no sugar daddy without the men. They are the ones who are taking advantage of these young girls, because we have got statistics that shows that in that age group, young girls are 4 times more likely to get HIV positive than young boys of the same age group. So who infecting these young girls? It can't be the young boys, because the young boys are HIV AIDS free at that age. It is the older men, and they are using their economic power and their patriarchal power and the power that societal power. So all those things need the whole society to think. Can we protect our young girls? Can you imagine her being your daughter and regard them as such?
Very important. Minister, we have unfortunately run out of time, but always incisive, your contribution to the show. So we do thank you for that. It is a long program ahead. I am well aware of that. It begins here. It will be moving to various parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Also, rural areas will be targeted. That is very important. And female empowerment there so that they can speak and negotiate the use of a condom. So all those issues will be coming to the fore, and hopefully solutions will also arise, and more than just a talk shop and a day where we come together, but we can hopefully find a way forward. We leave it there, at least for now. Thank you ever so much for indulging us. Thank you for joining us, and we'll do it all over again tomorrow morning. Right now, it's back to Leanne in studio.